That kind of arrogant look on his face. He is extremely self-confident. And he's finished 6 of his last 7 fights, Calzaghe, inside 2 rounds. The young man from South Wales in the black trunks, the Brazilian in red, Luciano Torres, once ranked #1 by the WBA. That may tell you more about the WBA than it does about Luciano Torres. Huge swing from the Brazilian. Calzaghe, southpaw. Sometimes he looks a bit awkward and unconventional. Doesn't really take the eye, but suddenly he produced these big booming punches and it's all over. Looks a bit of a low blow, that left hand from Calzaghe. Can this Brazilian, I wonder, manage to put him under any kind of pressure?
Well, so far all he's really shown us is the right hand haymaker, really thrown in a big arch, having no success with it, but he's lunging forward.
Both of them holding on and hitting. Clubbing left hand from Calzaghe, who's trained by his father Enzo, who used to go to the same school, incidentally, as Joe Budden. That's nice work from Calzaghe, really putting the cluster of punches together, mixing up to head and body. Torres looking in trouble there. He's hurt and open, and Calzaghe is not stopping the punching.
These are fast and accurate punches going in from Calzaghe.
That was an impressive burst, no matter what the quality of the opponent. Torres only just about got through that. Thought for a moment as if Calzaghe was on his way to yet another first-round victory. Torres waves him in.
Well, technically he's not showing a great deal, Torres, just this wild right hand, certainly not textbook stuff.
Well, it remains to be seen how much Torres fancies this, taking this fight a long way from home, and he suddenly realized he's in with a young gun who can hit. The way this is going, it might not last long. Calzaghe's raining punches in. There was a big left hand, and for about the 4th time in the round, Torres reeled back against the ropes, almost as if he was not in control of his legs. He looks fleshy as well, the Brazilian.
His balance is very bad. He's done no real offense. He's just throwing a wild right hand. There's nothing sharp coming back at Calzaghe.
It was all that Luciano Torres could do to get through round 1. Matter of fact, I didn't think he was going to for quite a lot of the time.
It didn't look like it. Calzaghe opened up with some good, fast combinations. He looked impressive when he did that, but there was very little comeback from the Brazilian. Torres just, his defense is weak. This is Calzaghe opening up, trying to get round the hands. He's a little unorthodox, well, a lot unorthodox, Torres, but Calzaghe having no problems at this point and landing with clean punches. Throw anything back of any consequence, Torres. He was just reeling around on the ropes, trying the odd right hook, as we see there. A little bit of a haymaker, nothing really in. Heads down. But some nice quick punches from Calzaghe.
The boys upstairs were wondering whether this fellow might end up being a boxing equivalent of Roberto Carlos, the Brazilian footballer. Well, he isn't. 66% success for Calzaghe against less than 10% for Torres in the opening round. Here's round 2. Torres is in red. Calzaghe in the black trunks, absolutely dominating that first round. Of course, what we don't know about Calzaghe is how adaptable he is. What's he like under pressure? How does he cope with a hard fight? We may not get the answers to those questions here. Good right uppercut. It was a good countering right, mind you, from Torres.
Well, Torres is trying to hold his ground. He's trying to push Calzaghe back here. But he doesn't seem to have a great offensive weapons. He's just throwing that right hand. Very little coming with the left from Torres. Just that wild swing again.
Another left hand. Breathing heavily, the Brazilian. Looking for big, wild, lunging right hands. Calzaghe going in for a bit of showboating. Little smile playing around his lips. He was caught by one big right, left himself open.
Yes, I think the smile was more a little bit of frustration and not being able to land cleanly on Torres. He's finding a little difficult. He's very unorthodox, Torres, and he's not landing with the clean, hard punches that he would like to, Calzaghe.
Gives ground, Torres again as he felt the weight of that punch. Denzel Lewis, the referee, looking on as Calzaghe looks to line up the next assault. We didn't want to knock Torres too much before the fight on his way into the ring, but I'll be honest with you, when we saw him in Milan that night, we couldn't believe that he was the WBA #1. He was an embarrassment, wasn't he?
Yes, he was very bad. It didn't look like the same guy that we'd read about. His record was so good, but you know, since I think the thing to read into it is the only time he's come out of Brazil he's been beaten. So you wonder about the fight as he's fighting in his homeland.
Calzaghe's left seemed to just buckle the knees of Torres, mixed in the right to the body as well. And again, the Brazilian totters back against the ropes, almost looking for support. You wonder how he stayed on his feet so far. He might not stay on his feet much longer. Referee Denzel Lewis is looking on here. There's nothing coming back. And Torres takes refuge from the canvas. It's horribly one-sided. He may not get up from this. He does. He got up with the count at 8, despite the timekeeper going on to 10, and gets through the round, and Calzaghe winked at him for good measure.
Yes, I think that's the last thing Torres wanted to say, that Calzaghe had the confidence just to wink at him, but it's very, very one-sided. Calzaghe hitting him with lots and lots of punches there. Good clean ones, nice and crisp, but really Torres has got nothing to come back with. You know, it's so one-sided. His defense is poor there. He's just trying to cross arm guard, but Calzaghe picking up a lot of arm punches going in there. Not really getting the power in them, but just nothing coming from Torres, just synced there to his knees.
He's very one-sided. I think the referee would have stopped the fight had Torres stayed on his feet for about another 5 seconds. He was about to jump in. I was looking at him. There he is on the right there. I think he was going to step in, and then Torres went down to give himself a break, and that's how he got through the round. Total fight punches landed 76 to 12 to Calzaghe.
Yes, and you struggled to have seen the 12.
Quite. Third round. This Luciano Torres, a Brazilian, is just not a patch, is he, on Maurício Amaral, who did so well against Chris Eubank and Frankie Lyles in world title fights, another Brazilian. It's merely a question, I think, now of how long Torres can last. There's a really troubled look on his face as well. He looks as if the last place he wants to be in the world tonight is Bristol.
That's right. He's just got nothing to trouble Calzaghe with. There's no jabs coming. He seems to have one punch in his arsenal, and that's a roundhouse right. And
unless Calzaghe gets too complacent and careless and just gets caught by a real sucker punch, you would think that he has no problems here. Now, I wonder if Denzel Lewis was... I think he's trying to stop the fight here. Strange moment to choose by the referee. He's saying he's not got his gloves up, and well, the fight is stopped. Calzaghe's wondering what's going on. We're kind of wondering ourselves. He has stopped the fight. That was an odd moment at which to do it. That was quite mystifying. Now, Calzaghe has won.